Minimal.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gym Day with a fucking idiot. I am Radio Dave, equal parts fucking idiot and basic bitch. And while you may not be a basic bitch, sometimes being basic is the best way to get shit done. That's why today we're looking at the most basic bitch chest workout of all time, as well as the most goated, the barbell bench press.
Minimal.
When you think basic gym workout in the bottomless pit in the center of your mind, the barbell bench press is probably the first thing that comes to mind. Whether it's movies, TVs, books, or whatever, when someone thinks gym, they immediately think bench press. And it's basic and classic for a reason. There's no improving upon perfection. However, while the barbell bench press is indeed basic and beginner-friendly, it is by no means simple when you begin to break down all the necessary elements to complete the perfect bench press, especially if you're first starting out. Fairly large disclaimer on this right at the top. The setup we're going to go through today is going to be mostly for hypertrophy training. If you want to train your bench press for powerlifting, there are a few cues in this setup that will be different, from the feet placement to the arch to the grip. But for today, we're just looking at a setup that will bias the hypertrophic response in your pecs. The first thing, and this is the most important, pick a weight that isn't going to kill you. Start out easy and light, even just the bar if you have to. The bar is 45 pounds itself, if it's a standard barbell. So if it's your first day in the gym, don't feel bad by starting out there with just the bar. If you've never pressed any kind of weight in your life, the 45-pound bar is a great place to start. Push from anywhere to 8 to 12 reps, and if you start to fatigue within those last few, you'll know you're in a good spot and eventually begin to go upwards in weight. Now, there's more to this movement than just putting weight on the bar. A lot more. So we're going to go through it one at a time. First off, we're going to lie on the bench with our back on the pad, situating ourselves so that the bar is roughly at the height of our chin. Now, most guys are going to say eye level for the bar, but the distance from your eyes to your chest is not fucking close. And that distance is going to be all shoulders until you get the barbell down to your chest, where it needs to be to begin the lift. So if you plan for around your chin instead, that'll keep the distance you need to move the bar a lot closer than if you started at eye level. And your shoulders will thank you for it. Once you've got that sorted, you need to grip the bar, but where are you supposed to hold it? If you're too close, you'll get more tricep activation than anything, and if you're too far apart, it's going to be hard to stabilize and sustain without major effort. Well, lucky for us, science has this part actually figured out already, and studies tell us that the strongest position for a chest press is to have your hands roughly twice the width of the distance between your clavicles apart. Now, even that is fairly wide, so I usually start a little more narrow than that and work my way outward as it becomes more comfortable. Find what's comfortable for you using that information as a reference point. Everybody's different. Your physiology is different from my physiology and is different from everybody else's. So find the grip width that works for you to give you the most chest activation using that as a reference point. Once you've got your grip sorted, you're going to want to bring our feet back so that they're a little behind our knees, sitting at roughly 45-degree angles on the floor. This will allow us to have good stability as well as foot drive if we need it. Okay, now we've got our back, our grip, our feet, and our starting height all sorted. Next, we're going to start actually moving the weight. To do this, we're going to do one thing we're not supposed to ever do and flare our elbows. And every gym bro is going to shit their pants now typing, "You're not supposed to do that." And here's why they're fucking wrong. If you're pulling heavy weight off the rack with your arms tucked, you're going to put unwanted pressure on your shoulder joints. That's bad. That's what you do not want. So instead, what you're going to do is you're going to flare your elbows out so that they're directly underneath the bar. This is where your elbows should be the entire time you're doing the lift, directly underneath the bar, causing a straight line from the force, the weight, to the ground. The strongest time your arm will be is when the force of the weight is pushing down direct in a straight line from the bar into the forearm and bottoming out at the elbow. This is the most stable this can be. So once we have that stable base created, we're going to extend our elbows with our triceps just enough to lift the bar off the rack and then rotate our triceps into our armpits and get the bar into position to perform the lift. Now, that may have been a new cue that you've never heard before there. In fact, if you've heard anything about a barbell bench press, you might have heard some meatheads say to tuck your elbows. That's a pretty common cue for guys in the gym, tuck your elbows. Now, the problem with tucking your elbows is it can put your elbow in a place where it no longer supports the weight. And also, if you tuck your elbows, your wrists sometimes tend to move with it, in which case that could also affect your grip on the bar as well. So a better cue I find to tell clients I'm working with is tuck your triceps into your armpits. That little difference in EQ will help keep your elbows where they should be, as well as give you the support you need when you're beginning to push the weight up and down. It will also help flare out your lats and build you a nice, strong, stable base from which to push from. Once your lats are engaged and the bar is in the correct position with triceps tucked into your armpits and elbows supporting the weight, we can lower the bar down to our chest, get that nice big stretch at the bottom, and push back up from our feet into our back, through our chest and into our arms, and through the bar, shooting that son of a bitch to the ceiling. Do this for the desired number of reps, and then at the peak of the final rep, rotate your triceps back out and supporting with your elbows the entire time to put the bar back onto the rack. And there you have it. You have just performed the perfect hypertrophic bench press. You're welcome. Remember to keep your feet angled behind your knees the whole time here. This position will also keep your hips from lifting off the bench, which is essential for a legal lift if you're looking to compete. To give you an idea of a good long-term goal to aim for on a bench press, being able to chest press the bar with 2 plates on each side, or 225 pounds, is considered to pretty much be the unwritten basic standard for all gym bros to be able to attain. Obviously, that will need to be adjusted according to the relative size of the individual, but 225 is a pretty decent long-term goal for anyone to work towards and is a fairly good indication that you have any idea what the fuck you're doing in the gym.
Minimal.
If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, be sure to like, follow, share, and subscribe. I do these every week. Until next time, from Fine Tuned Fitness, I'm Radio Dave. You're you, and I'll see you on the next one.
Not